During the third millennia, in a strange place known as the United States of America, a war was brewing. Brainwashed Marxist idiots in colleges across the nation clashed with equally brainwashed, anime-obsessed neo-Nazis. Starbucks windows were shattered, Dodge Challengers were totaled, and Muslims realized that rental vans were cheaper than plane tickets. Skinny, anemic millennials from coast to coast were hospitalized with life-changing injuries such as sprains and first-degree burns. And the heroic knights of 4chan rose up to defeat Shia LaBeouf and drive the evil villain into a descent towards a madness the likes from which he would never recover. As the enemies of freedom destroy the cities that raised them, as America begins to resemble an Iron Maiden album come to life, two heroes have risen up to fight against the culture of utter madness and restore sanity the only way they know how, by refusing to take any of it seriously. Mersh.
And I said, hey, oi, let's chop your penis off. Oi, can I have me penis back? Why do you have dreadlocks, you white oppressor?
Royce Lopez.
Always be aborting. A always be aborting. Always be aborting.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, guys.
You're hearing it only on our show first. Apparently Donald Trump has worked out a deal. He will get the wall. Unfortunately, it's going to be a rock climbing wall.
Oh, no! The other side's going to be a slide. You climb the wall up and you just
lands into a nice, clean, chlorinated pool. And then you immediately get a welfare check. Fucking A.
Oh, shit. He was a boy, he went to girl, now he wants to be a boy again.
Oh, God, just stay a girl if you're going to be this indecisive.
I think Caitlyn Jenner's a handsome woman with a great penis. Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trannies. I just don't want to put that one's cock in my mouth.
Bound forever by their mutual love of smoking marijuana, Simpsons references and affection towards Alex Jones, these two men have joined forces to bring you uncut news and opinions directly from the belly of the beast. Saving Western civilization one childish dick joke at a time, here they are, your new heroes of the Imperium, Mersh and Royce Lopez.
Welcome. Last day of the week, Friday edition, Revenge of the Sis, Mike Shealy, Royce Lopez, ending your week without, hopefully without any self-inflicted harm.
That's really nice. That's
hey, upbeat Fridays.
Very PC way to put it.
What are you gonna do?
So yes, it's Friday. We've made it, folks. We've made it. We've stumbled in.
Yikes.
What?
Fucking. You know who Chrissy Marr is?
No, who? I'm sorry.
Comedian.
No.
She's like a redhead. She used to work date Pat Dixon.
Okay.
She's like
You've mentioned her on the show before.
She hosted for me one night. I just was flipping through my tongue. Some friends with her on Facebook, and I guess she posted her new headshot. Yikes.
Is it not great?
It's not great. But she's also doing what I asked comedians to do, which is I wanted to pass a law wanted a federal law where all comedians and actors and everybody are required by law to update their headshots at least every 4 years. We settled on every 4 years.
So you want the government involved in this?
Yes.
Because, I mean, you know what? Sell me on this. Explain. Sell me on this.
Well, when you have people like Rich Voss and people like some of these Vegas stacks, like these guys, they use headshots from like 1996. That's deceptive practices. Those are deceptive practices. I have to look at you as well as listen to you tell jokes. It's false advertising if you're going to use a headshot from fucking 2 decades ago where you had nice fucking full head of brown hair. Here's how we came to this decision was we found when Artie Lang was selling those T-shirts and he deleted the tweets.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what is that about?
Yeah.
Well, it led to this Nomad Comedy Club. And Nomad Comedy Club was one of these places that Bam Margera would go do his terrible act at. And we noticed that the flyer for Bam Margera had fucking Glory Days Bam Margera on the flyer.
And it was young, skinny Bam Margera.
Yeah, like with the eyeshadow, all Viva La Bam. Like the picture was so old, I believe Ryan Dunn was still alive when this photograph was taken. So I got really mad because I had to pull up for people a picture of current Bam Margera versus this flyer Bam, this 2006 fucking glory days of MySpace Bam Margera. Mm-hmm. And that's when we decided as an audience that we needed to change the laws or create a law where one needs to update their headshot every 4 years.
At gunpoint, I think. You've sold me. I think at gunpoint.
Well, no, just at risk,
No, I think just to be safe.
at risk of a fine. Let's be reasonable here, just like Obamacare.
After 3 fines, then gunpoint?
Well, jail.
Jail.
Prison
okay.
time.
All right,
You
fair
have to
point.
go to prison. You have to go to federal prison. You have to go next to fucking, yes, next to you and Paul Manafort. Can fucking
You have to go to a federal prison.
yeah, and you got to play cards with Paul Manafort while he's sitting in a wheelchair.
You fucking...
That's them's the rules. You should have updated your fucking headshots, like $120.
Mike, I'll say this: you're tough but fair.
And that way, when I see a flyer for Bam Margera show, and I look and I go, "Is Phil Margera performing at this comedy?" No, that's Bam. And you go,
Really?
Wow. And then if anything, you'll sell more tickets because people go, Jesus, you want to go get a look at sad Bam? Mm-hmm.
It's like Sebastian Bach now.
You know, he posted a bunch of Instagram videos calling his wife a whore and screaming about she stole his car keys and his credit cards, and then he canceled all his New York gigs, including his Compound Media appearance.
Remember when somebody said he banged Opie's wife? Remember that? I mean, he's denied it, of course.
He's
but,
denied it.
Oh, of course.
But that's a small area, that Westchester, the whole area in Pennsylvania, very small area. You know, and there's not many dime pieces running around that area. So, you know, you run through. I mean, Bam's never left his hometown. You know what I mean? Like, he was always there. I'm sure he ran out. I'm sure he, ran out of veins to mine. Pussy. But, yeah, so he canceled his gigs in New York, the West Side Comedy Club.
And Compound.
And Compound.
Nice.
And he was just posting all kinds of crazy videos yesterday. Like, you fucking bitch, you need to bring me my fucking car keys, dude, and I'm gonna take a shit in the lobby. No, he didn't really say that part.
No, but do you understand?
Basing it on
You
people
understand
that-
with his history that sounds like something that he would have gone online and said. Like,
Yeah, and then he did a video from the hotel where he couldn't check in at the hotel because she also took his credit cards. But he was like, I'm like, you're in your fucking, dude, you're an older man now. You're old enough to not be posting this shit on Instagram.
Right. And
wearing a lot of pewter metal rings. Like, there's just things you don't do when you're fucking...
yeah, you should be on the phone with your credit card company.
Seriously, though. That is the... Let me see. How old is he now? Bam Margera is 39. You're a 39-year-old man who wears rings on every finger and screams at your wife and calls her a fucking bitch on Instagram. Maybe it's time to get control of your life.
Yeah, it's that Bam Margera is part of that weird like Guy Fieri kind of crew where it's a bunch of rings and a lot of
Yeah, but Guy Fieri is like sober and like involved in his kids' lives
that we know of.
and normal for the most part. He doesn't wear a lot of rings. He just wears the terrible flame shirts.
He wears rings.
Does he wear a lot of-
He wears a lot of rings.
Does he have one on every finger?
Some episodes he has some on every finger. Of Triple D, bro.
During sweeps week. I get it.
Yeah. You got to
We're
peacock.
talking about-
You got to peacock for sweeps
What I'm
week.
saying is that Bam gets up on a regular Wednesday, regular run-of-the-mill Wednesday, before he goes to the skate park, and he puts on fucking make sure that every finger is covered in a ring.
Can you imagine being 39 years old and hanging out at a skate park?
Still living on a property with your parents.
Oof.
Hey, someone asked Ape if she's seen my skull ring, dude. I can't find it. And before I go to the skate park, I gotta have my skull ring. The last time I didn't wear my skull ring, Brandon Novak OD'd again, so I need my fucking skull ring.
It's good luck. It's a good luck charm.
Exactly. If I wear my skull ring, then I won't fucking die. Okay. Ryan Dunn forgot his fucking skull ring that night, dude.
So you think it was a skull? Okay, well that makes sense.
I don't know.
Shall we?
Sure. Sorry to get it's Friday. Just try to kill time here.
You know it's Friday. And you know what came out. You know what came out last night.
Fridays, by the way, for those of you listening at home, Fridays are a fucking race to the clock.
They are.
It really is.
We're going for it.
Yeah. You know what it is? Do you guys understand what it's like to own your own business and come in on a Friday?
It's not fun. Why do you think? Why do you think Stern always took Fridays off?
Yeah, we're gonna eventually get 2 other guys that come in on Friday.
I like that.
We'll do the first half hour and then leave.
Bick Bickerson, and we need somebody else.
Just get Bick and Porcelain in here.
Bick and Porcelain. Hey, Bick and Porcelain, you want to do our Friday show? We'll franchise it to you.
We'll franchise it out. Well, we should get like, you know what we should do? So we'll talk about it when we go to Miami. We'll see if Ethan Ralph and Andy Worski will replace us on Fridays.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So yeah, you can be Ralph and I can be Worski.
Perfect.
Just be in my spot.
This would be great.
But we don't acknowledge it.
No, we don't.
We don't tell anyone that anything's changed.
Right.
Everything stays the same, so that people just go, "What is happening?
Wait, what's going on?"
Yeah, they have to call each other Royce and Mersch.
So, Rotten Tomatoes has a problem with the new Captain Marvel movie.
No. I think movie audiences have a problem.
Yes.
With the movie. I don't think Rotten Tomatoes has a problem with the movie Captain Marvel. I think they're doing everything they can to save Captain Marvel.
So it's got 81% on the reviewers, 81% fresh. However, the audience has it at 31% dislike. Now, Rotten Tomatoes, and I think rightfully so, because it used to have 58,000 ratings, and Infinity Wars doesn't even have 50,000. So it's
you got to figure some of them are bullshit.
But this is the bad news for Captain Marvel. They removed 45,000 of these reviews, and you know what it raised the score to? 36%.
I saw that.
It raised it to 36%.
Nothing.
Yeah. People are not and the reviews, because yesterday I was like, well, let me see some reviews on Twitter. All the reviews, and I'm convinced that some of these reviews are fucking bots that they pay for that look like real accounts. But all the reviews last night were from women. I only saw female reviews, and they were all like, "You go, girl! This is so awesome. That movie was great." First off, we're clear here. I don't trust a woman's opinion on any movie. Do you understand that? If I want to know if a movie's good, I'll ask a man.
Yeah.
Because you women get too emotionally involved.
I trust a woman's opinion on movies the same way I trust a woman's opinion on grout work.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
You
look,
don't know anything about.
I'll
Shut
pick
up.
the movie, okay? I don't want to hear it. I can't imagine it's. But the thing is with this is that they're gonna die. They're gonna die on this hill for a character that nobody gives a fuck about. This isn't like the first female Captain America. It's Captain Marvel,
And it wasn't even like at least Black Panther. Most of us remember.
Yes, we know Black
to some
Panther.
extent. Captain Marvel's a nobody character. Black Panther, even if you didn't read Black Panther comics growing up, he appeared in things that you read.
Well, he's always trying to bang Storm. Remember? He was always trying to bang Storm.
He was like Pepe Le Pew with that.
Oh
bro.
yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's the. But that was like you remember like them being like Avengers comics, and you'd be like, "Oh shit, I got Black Panther in this
Panther's
bitch
here."
too.
Yeah.
But who the fuck is Captain Marvel? Oh, and they're already like, yeah, Captain Marvel's going to defeat Thanos.
By the way, you know that you're like the second most famous Captain Marvel. People know the DC Shazam Captain Marvel more than they know her. They do. And already the excuses have started. Already the excuses have started that it's alt-right, that it's trolls.
Of course.
People that hate women. This is what women have to go through with making a movie. They can't fathom a world where maybe a movie like Captain Marvel isn't good.
Have you seen Alita Battle Angels stats?
Yeah.
They're outrageously good.
I'm so glad you brought that
They're
up.
outrageously good. Like it is, and it's funny because it's a flip of this.
Yeah.
Where like the critics were like, I guess it's all right, and the fucking fans are like, this is the greatest thing that's come out this year.
Alita Battle Angel, 60% rotten, but 60% fresh, which isn't great
but that's
by
the
the
critics.
reviewers. And then the audience score is 94%. With 23,593 people reporting
alt-right
in.
trolls. Alt-right trolls reporting it.
Oh, you're right. They're just alt-right trolls.
Alt-right trolls.
They couldn't have possibly made a good movie. You don't
Alt-right
think?
trolls who said, you know what, man, we want to. This is what this is. This is a organized troll campaign where they purposely upvoted Alita Battle Angel and downvoted Captain Marvel to make Captain Marvel look so bad.
I've heard people that hate anime say that this movie was great. Like I've heard it's just a good movie. I haven't seen it yet.
I've heard guys that were dragged to this, or women that were dragged to this by guys like that weren't people in couples that are not anime fans, but the other one is. That were like, yeah, this is a good movie. It was pretty good. Like, not they were like, oh God, it was a myth, but they were like, dude, for not liking anime, it was a pretty good fucking movie. Which when you get a guy begrudgingly going to his thing with his chick and he says that's about the best you're gonna get out of a guy.
So as of an hour ago, that's gained 2,000 more reviews by audiences.
And gone down 1%.
And gone down another 1%. So who are we to trust? Are we to trust the critics or are we to trust the audience?
By the way, critics 81%, that's also not good.
That's not great. Considering there's a lot of puff pieces included in there.
Yes, and considering, the astroturfing and the big push that they've made to make this movie a success, those are lies. So even with all the lies packed in, it's at 81. Like, remember there were movies that came out that critics were like I'm sure if you look at A Wrinkle in Time, one of the fucking stupid shit, everybody was probably like, oh my God, it was the best thing for women ever. You know, they probably came all over themselves.
You know what? You have a good point. 81% isn't great considering How to Train Your Dragon has 91%. And that's like a sequel to a sequel, you know?
By the way, How to Train Your Dragon. Oh, that's the sequel to How to Train Your Dragon.
That's the sequel to the sequel.
And it's not even that good. The sequel wouldn't even
No.
be. None of this is that good.
91% and 89 audience like it. Compare that to, of course, Captain Marvel. Now, what I want to see, what's going to really show.
Let's see the Medea one. I want to see the Tyler Perry one.
Where is it? There it is.
There you go.
Oh my God, 14% and then 29. It's great.
Wow.
Yeah, is that not good?
Wow. Well, I mean, it's on. I mean, if you were going to, let's say, do a percentage, like population-wise, ratio-wise, I'd say that's about on par.
Oh wow, you're right. Almost. Almost.
It's like 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, despite being 50% of theaters. I don't get it.
You know, what's really going to matter is how much money it makes. That's what's going to matter the most because they were predicting a $150 million open this weekend. Thursday previews, it's made $27 million. Now, understand, those Thursday previews are always deceiving because you always get a big influx of super nerds that want to see every movie.
See it the moment it opens.
Yeah,
too.
so
Then you get those people too.
Exactly. So, like I said, what's really going to matter is how it does at the end of this weekend. So Monday we'll check back in. How much do you think it's? They're predicting 150 million. How much? That's what Disney wants. How much do you think it's going to make? Like, if you had to, let's take our guesses now and let's see what happens on Monday. What do you think it's going to make? Knowing everything that you've read, everything you've seen, all the reactions, all the, how much do you think it's going to make?
Hear me out. I think it's going to do at least 120 million. Hear me out.
I would agree.
But that's with all the buybacks. That's all the tickets getting bought back. That's with all the theaters blocking every other movie from even being viewed.
That's a good point, yeah.
So I think it's still going to be like, whoa, it's pretty close still. It's a victory for us. Is it? because you had to do a lot of things.
They're going to
get
spend
that
a lot
number.
of because the money that they show with how much a movie costs, it doesn't include promotion.
They usually
doesn't-
double the budget.
Right.
That's usually what they do.
I would think at this one, I think they had to quadruple the budget to fight back the internet, and not be look. If Brie Larson wouldn't have said anything, would have kept her mouth completely shut, I think the movie still would have done 120, 130, but with no help. It wouldn't have needed the help. People would have been even if it wasn't great, people would have seen it because, it's a Marvel movie. People saw the Thor movies and they were terrible, except for Ragnarok. But 1 and 2 were fucking terrible.
2 was all right.
Dark World or whatever that was called.
I liked 2.
I don't like it.
You don't like
big
2?
fan. I like 3.
Well, yeah, Ragnarok was all right.
Yeah.
I like 2. They don't sleep on 2.
Did you hear about the biggest?
I like Tom Hiddleston though. That's my nigga.
Did you hear about the biggest upgrade ever in movie history?
Oh yeah, Idris.
Idris Elba's replacing Will Smith in the Suicide Squad movies.
Yeah, but who cares? I don't. Think
James Gunn's directing it. Remember, James Gunn's directing it. He did the Guardians, and it's. I think it has potential to be good if it's James.
Yes, but can we just forget the first one even happened?
I think that they're kind of just soft
But
reboot it.
Then that's not. Then don't call it a sequel.
Well, look, I'm not the DC marketing people.
Like I get it's James Gunn, it's Idris Elba. Oh, that's great. You still have the stink of Jared Leto's Joker on you. You need to fucking.
Well, he's
scrap
never
the whole-
playing Joker again. He's already
Good,
said
you need
it.
to scrap the whole thing then. That needs to happen. Are they going to use Joaquin?
I don't know. I know Joaquin's making that movie, but that apparently
It's like a standalone.
It's
right?
called DC Dark Universe or whatever, which is the standalone stories that they're doing for DC's getting really convoluted, and it's just making it worse and worse for them.
Yeah, you should have 7 Joker movies out in the same year. That's good. That doesn't dilute the market at all.
All the
You should just keep licensing Batman to everything.
all the early reviews of the Shazam movie are pretty good. That they say it's pretty good. The Shazam movie, it's going to be funnier, I guess. So I don't know. But Joaquin Phoenix Joker should have been played by played just like Halle Berry's Catwoman. They shouldn't have made part of Batman universe at all. Yeah, no, I agree. And we also got. Let me check the Streamlabs here before we move on. Un momento, por favor. It is taking forever to load. OJ's White Broncos. Spoiler alert, Will Moffat is America's next top superstar. Yes, it is. With everybody's help, he is. All right, let's...
So wait, how did everybody get on this Will Moffat thing? I only covered him for a few minutes the other night.
Well,
I was so happy I had a new cow I could milk, and now it seems like fucking Will Moffat's just taking...
I didn't know you were covering him, and somebody sent it to me.
Yeah, guys, chill out sometimes, all right? When I get I'll share some stuff, but Christ, I just discovered Will Moffat last night, and I wanted to get back into Will Moffat tonight, but I can't do that now because we're going to talk about him on 2 shows before Nightwave.
I'm not going to. I wasn't going to talk about him tonight. I was just reading the super thing. Remember, people send me stuff that I don't know they sent to you because I can't watch your shows every night.
No,
so.
I know, and that's why. But I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, chill, because then I'm gonna get later on tonight. You should do some Will Moffat. No, I'm not going to because it's been talked about to death today. You know what I mean? Like it's just. You get it because you do the same shit I do. Where
I understand.
You go out and you look for stuff, and then the next day you're like, oh, okay, I guess everybody's just kind of on this now. Whatever.
Yeah, so somebody sent it to me, and I was like, well, what is this? And I got into it. But, yeah, no, I wasn't going to talk about him now. Same thing with the same size guy. Like, I feel bad because I didn't know that Jesse already had covered that. Somebody sent it to me. And then I feel bad because people go, well, Jesse did something on this guy already. I'm like, well, I didn't know that. I just...
Well, and there was the other thing, too, because Jesse was like, God, this Will Moffat guy is just rife for fucking good pickings.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, if you can get him on your show, that would be hilarious. So I don't
Right.
even know if Jesse's working on stuff
Yeah,
now.
I don't know.
But, you guys got to fucking have a little more chill. You just have to have a little more chill.
I did fix his OBS, by the way. He at least he could do a show now. All right. Do you want to get into the Savior, Laura Loomer?
Yeah. This is...
Okay, you sent this to me.
This enraged me. Mm-hmm. This enraged me, by the way. This woman is... The title of this video made me angry. You ever get angry before you even click?
And this is from her YouTube?
Yes.
Oh, of course it is. So she posted this yesterday. Let's see. Laura Loomer forces Joe Rogan to admit Twitter sponsors his podcast. All right, let's see.
That because I believe, I believe that Twitter is a sponsor of Joe Rogan. And it's talking is allowing the money to control, this dialogue. But he allowed for Jack Dorsey to get away with lying about.
Was this the same time that she handcuffed herself? Is this the same trip?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
I would
actually,
imagine
no, I
so,
don't
right?
think so because it said February 20th. Mm-hmm. And that was way back. That was back weeks ago when she chained herself. That wasn't February 20th. That was in the winter. So I think she went. Because remember, she said she was going to go back to Twitter. Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm going to have a big protest at Twitter. And I think she had a second one that like 4 people showed up to.
So she's basically standing outside of Twitter with a megaphone screaming these things for those listening via podcast.
Banning and deplatforming individuals. Jack Dorsey told Joe Rogan that Twitter's a human right. Jack Dorsey said that social media.
Everybody, and I always have to point it out, everybody has the same megaphone from Amazon. That's our megaphone. Everybody has the same megaphone.
Not
on
me,
Amazon.
to be fair, since my family is white trash.
Is it a Walmart one?
Somebody bought me one that's, I believe, either from Walmart or it's from, I suspect it is from either Spencer's or what's the other one? Not Walmart.
Target?
But just one of those stores where you can get something like that. But I got a gray one. So mine's gray at least. So mine stands out.
Somebody said $12.95 on Amazon Prime.
See, I've got mine too. I was actually cleaning up the other night and I found mine and I was like, oh shit.
All right, that's
I wanted to bring it to New York, but I'm not doing that. Megaphone and Carl doesn't mix. If I end up running into them, I'm going to go to jail.
Got it.
As a human right, and that everybody should have access.
Wait, are you meeting up?
I'm going to try it.
Oh, that'd be
I'm
awesome.
trying to meet up with some people, but nobody's getting back to me because everybody's
weird
doing their own shit. Yeah.
All right, sorry, Laura. Sorry, give Laura some attention, okay?
Access to Twitter. Well, if that's the case, then Jack Dorsey is guilty of committing human rights violations against millions of people around the world. I think we have a human rights case coming up here, Laura. I don't know. What are you prepared to go down with all your...
Who's this? Who's this bitch that's with Laura now?
You're banning people simply because they're conservative, because they support President Trump. But then you're pandering to Joe Rogan and telling him that social media is a human right. It doesn't work that way, Dorsey.
Royalty-free GarageBand music. Royalty-free GarageBand music.
When are these people going to learn that no matter
repetitive beat.
how much they ban me, my ideas are so great, and the people want to hear my message so much that they can't suppress it.
Mike, please tell me she's not going to tie in what she did to people calling out Joe Rogan.
Clearly, she's going to tie in what she
No,
did.
Well, that's it, Laura, is that you're exploding, we're exploding.
You were on Joe Rogan, and you need to tell Joe Rogan to stop like negging me and avoiding me, because I've been contacting him and trying to get on his show to set the record straight about Jack Dorsey.
She's unbelievably annoying.
What the fuck? And by the way, definitely not the biggest fan of and Alex either right now, the way he's been acting. But to think that Joe Rogan is you're gonna pester him into an interview, is that how you think it works, Laura?
Yeah, Joe can't stand the pressure coming down on Laura from Laura.
Do you
Loomer.
really think that that's a good way to never get invited on his show?
And you trended #1, I trended #1. All these people who are banned managed to trend #1. And obviously their censorship isn't going to work, because you can't kill an idea. And people like Joe Rogan, even though he caved to everybody's criticism and had you on the show, he wouldn't have done that unless people spoke out. He let Jack Dorsey get away with lying. He said that he didn't.
Plug. Support them. Get the money out there. By the way, your fucking watermark is your PO box is blocked by the InfoWars.
Oh yes, it is. You can't read the zip code.
Watermark.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's obscured, Laura.
Didn't know why you were banned. But one thing that you should have really pressed Joe Rogan on is why he takes money from Twitter. Twitter is one of his donors, one of his sponsors. So why is Joe Rogan, if he really is your friend, if he really does care about you on a personal level, why is he taking this blood money from Jack Dorsey? That doesn't look like a very good friend to me, Alex.
By the way, Lake Worth, Florida.
I know.
Is not.
Yeah, it's not. Ew. By the way, it's not. And ew. By the way, you're not in PGA Boulevard. You're in Lake Worth. Ugh.
Yeah, right. That's not.
It's not great.
It's not near the beach either. It's
It's near a lake.
It's It's like a big box cut off, and then there's the A1A.
Yeah.
Then there's the beach.
Enjoy Lake Worth.
Some things that people wanted to have us talk about. One, that the Cash App is one of the sponsors of the podcast. It's been a sponsor for a long time.
You're the CEO of Square, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
We on the Cash App. So.
There you go.
We on the Cash App.
So she did it. She did it by herself.
Clearly, this entire ordeal was all thanks to the pressure put on Joe Rogan by one Laura Loomer. And that is why, because Joe didn't want to admit that it was Laura Loomer that brought this to the forefront. So he had Tim Pool come in, steal her thunder, and have him come in and be a representative of this whole thing. Because he's so threatened by Laura Loomer that, no, we have Tim Pool in there. We can push Tim Pool around. You can't push around sassy Laura Loomer.
Yeah, she was. She's really, God, Laura, stop.
Honestly, though, I would have, if I could control the universe, I absolutely would have put Laura Loomer in that room instead of Tim Pool. It would have made for more entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, a lot more screaming, but no information would have gotten across.
Fuck it. Who cares? Guess what? Guys, I have news for you. Nothing's going to change. So whether you get fucking Tim Pool to go in there and do the Crispin Glover Back to the Future, you keep your damn hands off her. Nobody's going to change. Jack Dorsey and Vijaya Street Shitterstein did not leave that place and go, wow, you know what, Jack?
I don't think that's her name.
You know what, Jack? Man, they're right about us. We need to change who we are fundamentally as a company because what we're doing is wrong. Do you think that's really going to happen? No. So I'd rather be more entertained. Throw Alex Jones and Laura Loomer into the mix. Get a couple of rabid dogs. Throw some raw meat into the middle of the room, and let's just have a fucking show.
All right.
Lake Worth. Christ. No, I take it back. Actually, Lake Worth does line up against the Intercoastal. Mm-hmm. So that's water.
All right, fair point. All right, so this is this is Joey Gibson at a woman's march recently. That's right, Joey Gibson's back in the news.
Finally where he belongs. What a fucking homo. I'm so sick of these fucking rallies, man.
It's tough guy Joey Gibson, though.
So sick of these people.
So then he wears these goggles, these skiing goggles.
Yeah,
or
bro,
whatever?
you got to protect yourself out there, bro, when you're fighting in urban warfare survival situation, trying to fight for America's future. You better have goggles, motherfucker. He goes out there armed with goggles and the word of the Lord.
Oh, those are the two things that protect him. That seems to make sense.
Oh, and some kind of inside connection in the police force, apparently. But hey, you didn't hear that from me.
Yeah.
It's a safe event. It's a family event. Take off your mask. You're scaring people. Yeah, you should be scared when you come to attack people.
What is he, crush now? He's scaring kids, bro.
Making kids cry, bruh?
Knock it off. We're done today, all right?
That guy's like that old biker remember the biker from Sons of Anarchy that had to ride around on the tricycle with his fucking emphysema?
Yeah.
Tank.
Oh, the one that looked like Big Kev.
Hey, you're lucky you jumped in, little guy. You're lucky. Hey, you want to hang out with us? Take off your mask.
Nazis, go home! Hey, take your hands off it! Take your hands off it!
Yeah, look how she's trying to sound tough. Take your hand off her. But she still sounds like sounds like a dykey broad, a 5'3" dykey little broad. Yeah, lesbian. Hey, all you Hannah Gadsby wannabes out there. I know you guys want to fucking, we're going to replace men. But you have to be like, get your hand, because you have to lean on the back of your throat. Because you're not a man. You're a little wiry little dyke. You smashed in your mouth.
I'm so glad you brought up Hannah Gadsby because I got some new stuff on her today.
Oh, I got raped, you see? Oh, yeah, did. I got raped and the guy came back and kicked me again. It's so unlikely and weird. It's so weird. He like raped me, then he left, then he came back, then he assaulted me again. It was really weird. Nobody ever follows that MO. Very strange. Probably why the story keeps getting scrubbed from the old internet, it is, because people don't want to question old Kenny Gadsby about how raped. It sounds very tentative at best. Sorry.
Hey, guys. Hey, stay the fuck away from me. I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. Okay? I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. Don't touch me again. Enough is enough.
So what does this
such a
do?
bitch,
What
dude.
does this do, Joey? How does this fix the country, Joey? What are you doing? And after instigating these fights and saying, I'm going to knock you the fuck out, you're going to then go pray in a prayer circle and pander to boomers.
And he's hiding behind old men and being like,
I
don't
know.
touch me again. Don't touch me. My gang's
He's
got
a
you. Dude.
fucking pussy. He's a fucking pussy, as we saw in D.C.
Don't touch him again. Hey, guys. You guys work over this way. Work over this side.
So now the police are trying to separate him, I guess?
This is such a massive waste of resources.
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here, you fucking fascist piece of shit. Fuck you.
You see what I mean? He goes out and does this shit on purpose.
Oh, yeah, of course.
This doesn't make you look good, Joey.
No, not at all.
You're taunting these people, which I look again, freedom of speech. It's fine. But then don't claim to be this pious dude. You go out literally without street fights over fucking MAGA bullshit, there'd be no Joey Gibson.
True. Tucker Carlson doesn't need to go into a crowd of a bunch of feminazis for people to listen to him, you know?
And then every time you hand this faggot a microphone, he says nothing to say.
Of course not. No.
Smell the booze coming off y'all already.
Eat a dick, Joey.
This guy too, man. All of these people.
All of them are terrible. We're not like defending one side or the other.
Gay.
All of them are
You're
terrible.
all gay. You're
Yeah.
all grown-ass people without jobs.
Fuck you, Andy. Hey, fuck you, you piece of shit.
That's it. America's saved.
Right, dude.
America's
That's a good
saved now.
It's a good point in the chat. Which one of these is the Fred Armisen character? I'm assuming
They're all
this
Fred
is a
Armisen
okay.
characters.
Get the fuck out of here. Go fuck yourself, you punk.
What is this? What Busters? I don't know what it says. KKK Busters.
Oh, that's good. You're gonna chase down.
Oh yeah,
15 old men.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You're a tough guy.
Fuck you, CJ. You little bitch. Fuck you, I'm right here. You piece of Steve.
What are you gonna do?
This is such a-
What are you gonna do? Play jazz trumpet at them? Like what's your move here, bud?
This is such a massive waste of resources.
That is what he looks like. He looks like Chip Chipperson.
It just makes me angry. This kind of shit makes me angry, dude. These people shouldn't even be getting fucking... Joey Gibson's name shouldn't even be talked about by anybody.
Well,
Fucking hate this piece of
except like
shit.
you said earlier, the police force.
Fuck you, Joey. Hey, Joey. Hey, Joey. Joey.
What's funny is I like how Tiny left him, so now all he has is that old man and some other guy.
I was gonna ask, where's Tiny?
Tiny left him.
Like he just publicly said he's done with him?
He said that you have to choose between the Proud Boys or Patriot Prayer, and Tiny was like, all right, Proud Boys, out. Beast mode, and he just left. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the Proud Boys are basically like, hey, Tiny, you want to run the chat, like you want to be the dude out in this area.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's a clash of personalities, man. Again, you guys think that this is all about MAGA brother, Jesus. We got to get together as Americans, man. It's all about market share. It's all about everything in life is market share, whether you like it or not. The E-celebs fight over market share here in this realm, and these guys are just forming street gangs to fight over market share out there. That's all it is. It's a business. And two CEOs came to a clash. Tiny realized, I don't need you, you need me. And he's gone. Probably didn't help that Joey left him sitting in jail after getting fucking arrested for him multiple times.
What do we do? It's a casual walking downtown Wilton.
Why does he dress like that?
Because he's a faggot. Did you want a literal answer? Or?
No, that makes sense.
What did we do? Pretty normal Sunday.
Hey man, pay attention to me, dude. I'm so awesome.
I love that he's...
Keep chanting. That's so
I love what a
cool.
joke Joey's becoming, though. He's becoming like he's becoming the Hampton Brandon of like MAGA streamers. It's really hilarious watching him just like fucking down to like 2 guys in your crew. Nobody cares about you anymore.
All right, well, enough about this homo.
I mean, I want to say what I wish would happen to him, but I want to keep the channel.
Well, you could say it in Minecraft.
It's not good enough.
No. Miami U.S. Attorney's Office recuses itself from the Jeffrey Epstein case.
Uh-oh.
From the Miami Herald. Just days before a Friday deadline, the Justice Department has reassigned the Jeffrey Epstein victims' rights case to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Atlanta. Oh, fuck. So that means that not only was it kind of gross negligence, they have something. For a city to move a case like this, like as this happened in Miami, to another city, something dirty happened there. You know what I mean? Like that the only time you see that happen is when he goes, we can't do this.
I mean, either that or, I mean, they've already said they did some shady shit. That's like not even news because they said a week ago that they broke federal law and they're going to have to reopen the case. I just think that they have to recuse themselves because
of that, yeah.
They fucked up and they're a part of it now. So they can't be getting investigated and also be handling the case.
Yeah, Miami federal prosecutors in a letter to attorneys for the victims on Monday said they had recused themselves from the case. According to Bradley Edwards and Jack Scalora, representing Epstein's victims, the assignment means that the U.S. Attorney for the North District of Georgia, Byung J. Pak, BJ Pak, will oversee the case for the government. Pak, a former Georgia lawmaker, was appointed in Atlanta's chief federal prosecutor by Donald Trump in 2017. The Justice Department is still under a Friday deadline for prosecutors to confer with victims' attorneys in an effort to settle the case. On February 26th, you think they're going to settle? Because do you think because I wonder, man.
I don't think he can settle at this point.
I'm just reading what it says here.
Wildly out of control.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one.
On February 22nd, U.S. District Judge Kenneth A. Mara in Palm Beach County, it's where Lake Worth is, ruled that federal prosecutors under former Miami U.S. Attorney Alexander Acosta broke the law when they concealed the plea agreement from more than 30 underage girls in Palm Beach who had been sexually abused by Epstein, a multimillionaire New York hedge fund manager. Mara stopped short of voiding the agreement, which granted Epstein an untold number of accomplices immunity from federal prosecution for sex trafficking crimes, provided Epstein plead guilty to minor charges in state court. At the time of the plea deal, federal prosecutors had gathered enough evidence against Epstein to write a 53-page federal indictment, court records show. An investigation by Miami Herald Perversion of Justice found that after Acosta met privately with one of Epstein's lawyers, the government agreed to seal the plea agreement so that no one, not the victims, not even the state court or judge who sentenced Epstein, would know the full extent of his crimes. How do you get a deal like that? Nobody gets a deal like that.
If you're billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein.
That's what I meant. Epstein, now 66, was allowed to plead guilty to prostitution charges and served 13 months in Palm Beach County Jail. That's nothing. Palm Beach County Jail.
Palm Beach County Jail. That's and also in PC. So it's not like, you know what I mean? It's like you and 2 old crooked cops that shot some black teenager once playing cards. Like, remember in Oz? The cop wing? They're just hanging out.
Where he was given a liberal work release and allowed to travel to New York and his private island in the Caribbean during a subsequent house arrest. He was released in 2009 and now divides his time between New York, Palm Beach, and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Well, now, according to the Daily Beast, Jeffrey Epstein, Alan Dershowitz, and pals accused of sex trafficking ring. One of the attorneys now.
Is this just now?
This is from today.
Okay,
No, I'm sorry, 2 days ago.
Okay, still, I didn't know this. So what happened?
Famed attorney Alan Dershowitz was accused of involvement in billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein's alleged sex trafficking ring by an attorney for one of Epstein's victims, who claimed in federal court on Wednesday that the release of sealed documents will prove it.
So the same documents I was talking about here, because they sealed like a whole bunch of stuff. It's gonna holy shit. So the Herald interviewed 4 of Epstein's victims who were as young as 13 at the time they were abused by Epstein. They said they felt betrayed by the state and federal prosecutors who treated them like prostitutes instead of victims. 2 of them sued the federal government in 2008 under the Crime Victims' Rights Act, which grants crime victims the right to inform about the plea deal with confer with prosecutors. Mara, in a 33-page opinion, said prosecutors not only intentionally violated the Crime Victims' Rights Act, but they misled the girls into believing that the FBI sex trafficking case against Epstein was ongoing, when in fact prosecutors had secretly closed it after sealing the plea bargain from public record.
Jesus, dude. I hope everyone goes to prison for this.
The victims' attorneys, Edward Escalera and Paul Castle, have asked the Justice Department to throw out Epstein's plea agreement and reopen the criminal investigation. Edwards, who brought the victims' right case against the government, said transferring the case to another jurisdiction is a prudent decision. I think... Go ahead, sorry.
Can I also point out that Epstein, when he served, 18 months? He ended up serving 13 of them in Palm Beach County Jail.
Palm Beach County Jail.
No, it's better than that.
Okay.
Did you know that he was allowed to leave for 16 hours a day for work release? So he only had to go to jail to sleep at night.
Wait.
He just had to sleep in jail for 13 months.
So not only was he in jail, he was on work release jail, which means he was gone most of the day?
16 hours a day. He only had to be there, check in to go to sleep.
So he was in a glorified halfway house.
He had to go to jail every day to sleep.
30 people have come out against this guy. 30 victims. So Miami's new U.S. attorney, who was appointed by President Trump in September, did not respond to a formal request for comment. So Edwards predicted that it would take more time for PAC's office to review the case, which includes more than 500 docket entries and thousands of documents. He said if the sides can't agree on a resolution, then Mara would likely have to come up with one. The case is being closely watched by crime victims' right advocates and will likely set a precedent. That's the other big thing. This will set precedent for a lot of stuff because there's a lot of shady deals that have been done. You know, if you're like like you were saying, like if you're an Epstein type, man, the shit you could fucking work around. And the problem is when you're an Epstein guy and you're flying around with high people in government, you're going to have friends in government that'll make a phone call and be like, hey, do me a favor. You need to hey, don't ask questions. You need to get this guy. If you want a promotion, just whatever. Because there's a lot of people. His flight manifest had a lot of names on it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Had a lot of names on it. And they just weren't Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. There was a lot of other people.
Yeah, our boy was on there, too.
Trump? Somebody told me that he wasn't. Was he?
He was, from what I heard, he has taken trips. But it doesn't, a lot. But he's also among many people that have been to that island. Like, Stephen Hawking was on Lolita Island at one point. Like, I don't think they were all getting fucked by young. You know what I mean?
Well, Stephen Hawking was a bad boy, though. If you heard, his wife left him.
Well,
because he was having a nurse give him hand jobs. Like, that's a real story. So before his wife left him.
That was purely medical, though.
I don't think so because the dirty talk probably wasn't great. All right. 1 through 3, Mike. I want to give you the option here. 1. Okay. Well, you brought this up earlier. Now would be the time. Hannah Gadsby was on ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Channel. So I think we should, let's check in with the world's best. What is she? She lesbian, right? Hannah Gadsby, she's lesbian?
I guess.
Or gender. Okay, well, let's find out.
Her swan song in stand-up comedy, the show Nanette, turned out to be a massive global sensation. The show
was Nanette a massive global sensation? Yeah, exactly. I don't
among woke people it was.
Okay, so people with equal signs on their Priuses. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
The show is a meticulous dissection, equal parts funny and devastating, of Gadsby's life as a gay woman and comedian. She explains the way coming up with punchlines has forced her to downplay some very painful episodes in her life. In the show, Gadsby announced she was done with stand-up, tired of the cost of mining her personal life for laughs. But as the comedian tells 7:30 exclusively tonight, she was lying.
Yeah, no shit, she was lying. Of course, she's going to make more money. She used that for effect. I'm quitting stand-up. No, you weren't. Of course, you're not going to quit stand-up. Are you kidding me?
People think that I'm a bit casual And because I'm a bit casual, they think that I don't suffer from nerves. This is incorrect. I am appropriately nervous.
After a decade of doing stand-up, comedian
Why aren't you laughing?
Hannah Gadsby had planned to call it quits and return home to a simpler life in Tasmania.
But what happened? You liar.
But the success of her show Nanette led to international acclaim, including being picked up by Netflix in 2018.
My grandma asked me if I had a boyfriend. And I realised in that moment that I'd quite forgotten to come out to Grandma.
Her star is seriously on the rise in the US.
Is it?
For somebody like me, and a nobody from nowhere gets this sweet gig.
You know what? She's shaped like what's Frank's best friend in Always Sunny? The guy who slept with Dee, does coke all the time.
Oh,
Ponderosa.
Bill Ponderosa.
He's Bill. She looks like Bill Ponderosa.
I still think the best description ever was the angry concrete blocks from Mario. It just summarizes her stupid head shape.
Free suit, new boots. Just because I don't like men.
Men are terrible.
She's good, man. It's good. It's whatever. Dude's awesome.
Did you say dude's awesome?
Yeah.
Hannah Gadsby, international sensation, Emmy Awards
International sensation and local lesbian.
presenter, star of a hit Netflix special, Toast of New York. You realise you're probably at the stage now where you could have a really obnoxious rider, you know, a litter of fluffy white kittens or something like that.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about it as well. And I'm really disappointed in myself for how simple my needs are.
You know who else was disappointed in you? Your parents.
What do you ask for?
Tea. And it's just, in the US, that's not cool.
Well, that probably makes you high maintenance in the US.
Well, it doesn't. Because tea here is not tea.
So wait. Her hilarity is about tea. She's gonna do joke about tea jokes. How great tea is. Tea is good.
This shouldn't be allowed.
By the way, a 7-minute interview with her. A 7-minute interview.
So it's sort of, I'm trying to enjoy it.
Whoa, hey, calm down with the energy. I can't take it. You're coming at me too hard.
And then I think about what I did and I go, ooh, I need a nap.
When we last spoke, we talked about the way that turning awful things that had happened to you into something to make people laugh had come at a painful personal cost. As you just said, success itself comes at a cost.
So this incident that you said was no longer on her Wikipedia?
Also spoke about growing up as a young gay person and being taught to hate yourself and to think that you were less. Does success and being lauded so broadly make those feelings go away?
I think on a sort of a very personal level, yes.
So what did she say on this Nanette thing that happened to her?
I didn't watch fucking Nanette, dude.
Of course.
But from what I heard, she supposedly was like raped or whatever by some guy or some guys at like a bus stop. And they raped her or whatever, and then they left, and then they walked back over and beat her up. I swear to God.
After they left, they go, we have to beat her up?
Now we have to go back and really...
Well, that makes sense. Most people would do that.
Most of the time you go back to the scene of the rape immediately when cops are most likely to be on their way.
Now,
beat her up.
is this what people in Tasmania are considered attractive? Is this
Yeah,
what they look
and
like?
then she got raped, and then I guess the dude spun around, and he was like... and then it was like a whole thing. Is that not what they do in Tasmania?
I don't even think actual Tasmanian devils do that, Mike. I think that's just a cartoon.
They don't? Hang on, I gotta go on JetBlue. I gotta cancel this.
Well, were you gonna go to Tasmania?
Of course I was gonna go to Tasmania.
Jeez,
I wanted to see the
Mike.
little...
That's not what's there. This is what's there. That's
By the way, we can agree, right? One of the worst characters. In the history
yeah,
of
of course.
animation.
He sucked, yeah.
He's so pointless. I think the Tasmanian devil was for like retarded kids.
Yeah, like when there was only like when they only had like one kind of autism, there wasn't a whole spectrum, and there's like that's some kids are like this. These are autistic kids.
Oh.
Sorry, Nanette. Or Hannah.
But in the moment we're living through it right now, with such, divisions and very vocal oppositions.
Divisions that you've caused, divisions that your community has caused. Like, these divisions weren't caused. They're solely on you guys wanting more and more and more and more. The division was caused by you. They poke people and they say, what are you going to do, bigot? I'm going to suck this guy's cock in front of your kid. I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, but you're the one doing it. The guy was just trying to show his kid. Remember when we went to the Juggalo thing in D.C. and the soldier that had come back from overseas was there with his kid and his wife, and he was trying to show his kid,
poor guy,
the reflecting pond.
Wrong day.
And then he showed up, and there was just a bunch of juggalos.
And then on the other side, it was just MAGA retards. Like, there was just nowhere to go.
And his face was like, why today? I really should have looked online before I came.
I really should have joined ISIS.
Well, I don't think he went that far.
Particularly in the U.S. There's, it does feel like I've
feels like I've been beaten and raped. You ever been beaten and raped? You ever had someone rape you and then come back later and beat you more? Rape you?
Well, it makes sense what you said about then it disappearing off of Wikipedia, because they even said at the beginning of this interview, she thought that after this Nanette thing, she was going to be done, so she wasn't going to get famous and nobody was going to question her. You know what I mean? So that would make sense, because if that did happen, the first thing would be, well, when did that happen? Is there camera footage? Like, can we find these people? Did you report this to somebody? Are there records of this happening, or was it just for comedic effect? I was fake raped. See what I mean? You're the one causing division, you stupid idiot.
Stepped onto a moment that's still really hot. Like, there's a lot of hate about, and I'm acutely aware of it.
With Nanette, you said that it was going to be your last stand-up show. Are you sticking to that?
No, I lied. I think I lied. No, look, that was... it's a complicated...
What else did you lie about, Hannah? What else did you lie about?
Complicated statement. What else am I going to do? I'm profoundly skillless.
Well, look, at least we could agree on something.
And, I've got a lot to say now. I feel like with Nanette, I found my voice.
And it's terrible. It's terrible.
What is it with
I
people?
found my terrible voice, and I'm going to subject everyone to it. Breaking news.
Breaking news?
Breaking news.
Yes.
We could have kept on that. This is just a quick breaking news
Okay,
break.
sorry.
Crashing, starring Pete Holmes and directed by Judd Apatow, has been canceled by HBO.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yo.
I don't ever want Judd Apatow to succeed ever again.
Well, he's still succeeding.
With what?
It's not going
Did you
anywhere.
see his last movie? Did not do well. It's not making money. He's not making his knocked up money anymore. You know what I mean? He's not making knocked up money.
I get it, but he's still a fucking woke Jew who's got enough movies under his belt that he's not going.
Judd Apatow's Jewish. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
It's like fucking Lena Dunham. It's the same thing. She's like from a fucking rich Jew family, and she's not gonna ever go anywhere. That's just the way it is. It's like your parents have connections in this world, and that's it. Judd Apatow's not fucking going anywhere. He's another like rich kid that was born into the business. Going anywhere.
Yeah, he was.
He's born into the business. He ain't fucking going nowhere. But it's still awesome that Crashing got canceled, because that fucks over. That's less money in Judd Apatow's pocket.
Yeah.
Artie's probably fucking losing it right now.
Because that was all he had. I like that your Artie impression, it's not even words anymore. It's just mumbles.
That's kind of how Artie is now.
It's just mumbles.
Your Honor, look, I know there's cocaine and heroin in my system, but I don't know where it came from. I don't know, Artie. Probably a drug dealer. That's where all the cocaine and heroin in my system used to come from. A drug dealer.
Okay, we need to go to break. It is break time.
Straight from your baggie to God's nose. That's what I say. Anyway.
You think that's going to catch on?
Probably not.
God's nose?
Like many other things I've come up with, it will not catch on.
RevengeOfTheSys.com/XPN. That's ProXPN. Get VPN protection. Get protected when you're out on the internet, and we get a piece. So it helps
like
us out.
a condom for your internet.
It's like a condom for your internet. Who wants to use one? I'm kidding. You should use it. It's not a good live read. RevengeOfTheSys.com/donate. A whole bunch of ways to donate. There's also an Amazon
It's like a
banner.
condom. When you go on the internet, it's like you don't even feel it. It's like, what's the point?
Why are we using it? You think your internet pullout game is strong, but then before you know it,
Yeah, and then after all that time not enjoying yourself, it just breaks anyway, and then you still have to go pay for a morning after pill. It's a whole fucking.
it's a whole thing.
Don't get the long story short. Don't get your condoms from the clinic because they give you the cheap ones.
They're free for a reason.
Exactly.
They're free for a
You
reason.
get what you pay for. That's what I
right.
always say. I think that one will catch on.
You get what you.
You'll get what you pay for.
I don't think you came up with that. That's been a famous
I'd like to
statement.
see you
for
prove
many.
that I didn't.
I mean, I'm sure that's been around since I don't know, like medieval times.
They prove it.
Okay,
Or
I will.
stop,
I will.
you
You're right.
know,
I won't.
Stop
I won't.
fucking
No,
sandbagging me or prove it.
RevengeOfTheSys.com/donate. Patreon.com/We're Not Sorry. It's a good way to help the show. We will be back in 5 minutes. Stay where you are, Revenge of the Sys.
The most exciting 2 hours of television is back with an all-new Revenge of the Sys. As Royce and Mersch continue to track an international deep state pedophile ring, their journey to the nation's capital is put on hold as Orlando's best police cops receive a cryptic message from an old colleague.
It's a message from my old partner. He needs to see us in Los Angeles right now. Says it's related to our case.
Do you trust him?
As much as I trust you, partner.
What's to know then? A detour from their original investigation finds these no-nonsense detectives in the middle of Hollywood.
Thanks for meeting me. We can't talk long. They're probably following me.
Who's following you?
The Podesta brothers. They've got eyes everywhere, Lopez.
Now trapped between deep state globalists and the Hollywood elite, Lopez and Mersch are on the case. They're no longer avenging Orlando. They're saving America. And this week, they're taking on Pedowood.
I've been working this case. This Dan Schneider guy, producer at Nickelodeon, he's into kids. Or feet. Or kids' feet.
Yeah, the iCarly guy.
How do you know all this?
Thanks for meeting me.
No problem, Miss Bynes.
This is Amanda Bynes? Jesus, she looks terrible.
Dude, she can hear you.
Watch this week as the web grows bigger, the case becomes more complex, and more older model cars get wrecked and plenty of nameless extras get shot. This week on an all-new Revenge of the Sys, followed by Nazi Lawyer. USA, hotels don't have Netflix.
For this performance in Delaware.
Make your shopping day a little easier.
Mervyn's Dollar Day sale is going on right now, and that means great buys on clothes for kids. All this week, you can save on boys' clothes by Campus Le Tigre. Short-sleeve Le Tigre knits are the shirts all the boys will be wearing back to school.
Do you like pranks, guns, and jokes about retarded people? Well, so do we, but odds are your liberal snowflake friend doesn't. How would you like an easy, cost-effective way of screwing with that friend anonymously without losing your Twitter account? Guns for Tards is the perfect way to trigger SJW anonymously through the mail. For a low fee, your target will receive a beautifully designed professional mailer from our fictional Guns for Tards charity, containing a thank you letter for their donation. They'll be led to believe that money was donated in their name to a charity that advocates Second Amendment rights for the mentally handicapped people in their area. For a few extra bucks, they will receive pictures and a detailed profile of a retarded person who they helped harm. It's all fun and games, well, except for that idiot who gets this in their mailbox and freaks out. Messing with someone through the mail is effective. Most people do it trolling over the internet, but regular mail is way more invasive. Whether it's a boss, an ex, or a liberal professor you don't like, this is the perfect way to screw with someone anonymously for the cost of a cup of coffee. Well, a cup of coffee in Manhattan, in a fancy coffee shop. Check out www.gunsfortards.com and select a package today. Use promo code MERSH for 10% off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We can make him better than he was before. Better, stronger, faster. A new night, a new time. The Sully Show returns to More Like Radio. Tuesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern before Dutch and Royce. Tuesday nights will never be the same.
I am the changing of the guard at Buckingham Palace. I am a thatched roof cottage in Wales. I am the best of Great Britain. I am British Caledonian Airways.
Hey, you! That's right, you! Wouldn't you like to know the story of you? What makes you, you? DNA and Me is a genetic service that can help you find out exactly who your ancestors were. You might be surprised.
I thought I was just a standard white guy, but DNA and Me showed that I'm actually 4.2% Cherokee Indian.
Turns out I'm not totally white. I'm also part Northern Asian and even some Kurdish. I'm a victim of oppression.
I used to get in trouble for always using the N-word, but with DNA and Me, I found out that I'm 2.1% black.
Morning, Steve.
Sup, nigga? The test is easy. Simply swab the inside of your mouth and send it into our labs.
People made fun of me for being French. DNA and Me showed I was 8% Navajo. Nobody's making fun of me now, or my people, who were victims.
I'm 13% victim.
I'm 21% victim.
Order now and find out if your friends should be more sympathetic towards you. DNA and Me. Are you in? Hell f***ing yes, I'm in.
Revenge of the Sis, second hour.
More breaking news.
More breaking news. What is it?
Jussie Smollett.
Okay.
Is being indicted for 16 felonies.
What?
Yes, 16.
What?
16 felony counts. He's being indicted on. Yes. They charged him with the one because that's how cops always do. Cops never charge you with all the charges. They just scoop you up. They get you on a thing. And then when they are sorting out the case, the DA is the one that brings charges.
Jussie Smollett update. Empire actor indicted on 16 felony counts by grand jury.
Yikes.
Chicago. A Cook County grand jury has returned a 16-count indictment against Empire actor Jussie Smollett, according to court records. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office confirmed the incident, which they said was returned by grand jury on Thursday. Let me see. Do they? Let me see if they say the counts.
That's what I'm looking for too.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just trying to see if I can find it here. Let's see here, because I mean, usually if they said there's 16 counts, they usually announce them.
I mean, this is breaking.
Yeah, this is like
so
5 minutes ago. Yeah, no, I see it.
I'm sure there's a bunch of people scrambling right now to type out the counts.
You're right. Now the grand jury has returned 16 felony counts of disorderly conduct. 16 felony counts of disorderly conduct for filing a false police report. The TV actor claimed he was a victim of a vicious hate crime. We know what happened. The grand jury returned 2 separate sets of charges. The first sets are related to what Smollett told officers about the alleged attack, including that the attackers called him racial and homophobic slurs and struck him with their hands and put a noose around his neck and poured some chemical substance on him. The second set of charges are related to the second interview Smollett had with police about the alleged attack that day. The new set of charges each carry a possible sentence of probation to 4 years. Smollett has already pled guilty to the first disorderly conduct charge. He was taken into custody and posted a $100,000 bond to be freed. Experts believe it is likely he will strike a plea deal and potentially not spend any time in prison. He won't. He's not spending time. I'm telling you, he's not going to spend time in prison.
No, he's not going to jail. He ain't going to go to jail.
But the investigation turned out to Smollett. He's now accused of allegedly orchestrating the attack with the Osadario brothers, who he knew. One brother was an extra on Empire, and the other was Smollett's personal trainer. Smollett has also reported threatening letter sent to him on the Empire set. That's what's going to get him in trouble.
Yeah, the federal.
With white powder a week before the attack.
That's going to be a federal case.
The letter is currently an FBI crime lab for analysis. Sources saying experts believe Smollett could face federal charges for allegedly sending the letter. That's the biggest issue. That's what's gonna fuck him. So good. So he might spend some time in. Dude, sending yourself white powder is not something you have to set a precedent for that and not let people do that, right? Like, the FBI has put people in jail for a lot longer for a lot less than sending fake white powder.
Oh hell yeah, dude! If this was anyone else, if this wasn't somebody who was woke and didn't have good intentions, supposedly, yeah, they'd be fucking in prison right now.
Fucking believable.
But yeah, say at least, nice little white pill, 16 counts.
It's nice.
So they're trying to really make it stick on this fuck at least.
Yeah, no, they are. No, of course. The amount of resources that Chicago PD had to fucking put out there for this stupid case, they should do this.
Somebody really should bring up like how many what if somebody did do the math and figure out how many deaths in Chicago that had a delayed police response time because of this asshole? You could have gotten people killed, Jussie.
All right. So this is great. These are some women who are getting uppity with a bouncer. And, women think they could hit whoever they want and stuff like that. So let's just watch this video.
Are they going to get respected?
Yeah, they're going to get respected. Let's watch this video. So as you can see, she comes up to him first, right? So that woman's pushing the bouncer. She comes up and throws a fucking a right hand right at the puncher, and then boom, he pushes her.
Women are horrible.
Yeah. So then he pushes her down. Now watch. Oh, and then she goes down. Gets better though. So that's the bouncer right there. The guy looks like Carl Drago, who had denied them entry into the building. They were probably really drunk, and they said, you can't come. That happens all the time.
Women are just shit people.
Yeah.
With just so much entitlement.
Oh, my God, with her fucking slut heels and everything. So they think that the guy, I think these are all bouncers or door guys. So look, this woman lunges at the guy. She lunges at him. Kick.
And again, ladies, when you're acting like this, your being a woman is the only thing preventing you from getting your skull caved in. And you know this, and you act on this. So stop telling me about how great and altruistic and wonderful women are. You're garbage. You're fucking garbage.
Can you imagine if you and I tried to kick that bouncer, what would have happened?
I would have been woken up in an alley later.
Knocked out is what would have happened. With punches and kicks and even glass being thrown. Dude, she still keeps going. Again, you women are so protected.
Yeah, dude.
You're so protected. That's a lot of restraint.
Johnny, man, you ain't lived until you smacked the bitch who's acting like this.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You've not lived. And you know what? It helps you out later in life when you see shit like this. Like, I would be much angrier. But I've had the satisfaction of calming a situation down like this much more quickly than
well, he did push her to the ground. You saw that.
He didn't smack her.
You're right.
You give somebody a good, loud smack, like with your hand cupped a little bit.
Right.
It makes a difference.
So it looks to be like three of them, a group of three. One looks like a mom. Oh, she's kicking him again.
Woman just won't stop.
Try to kick him in the ball. Look at her. So boom, he pushes her to the ground. He pushes her. Did he push her or did he punch her?
I don't know.
Okay, let's back up. Sorry, I gotta see here. That was a push. That was also it was pushes. This was a push. A hard push, but a push. She goes back for more. Pushes. Dude, he put his hand right on her face.
That's hilarious.
It just smushed her to the ground.
Hilarious.
It just smushed her to the stupid ground. off me! Get off me!
You're the one that needs to stop hitting people, though.
You're the one being a lunatic.
That's some serious shit.
Can we at least get a titty pop out or something?
We're not that lucky.
Like, this guy's like, no, excuse me.
He looks like that comic book character, not comic book, the comic strip character that would always come home to his wife and she hated him. He was always at the bar. God, someone will tell me.
He looks like me at literally every bar this shit happens at now. Oh, sorry. Pardon.
Yeah, sorry,
I'm
excuse
getting
me.
out of here. I just want to pay my tab.
They get a vote, by the way, guys. Just a reminder, these people get to vote. So then they keep this other one keeps going back. Keeps going back. Look. They keep going back. Tries to slap him. Tried to slap him. This guy, this bouncer is fucking
infinite patience.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse.
He's really trying to stay cool.
Yeah. Whoa! She threw a bottle at him. Ow. What the fuck?
Were these women all arrested?
I don't know. They have to have been, right? This guy.
It's just it's, you know what it looks like? Remember every movie where like every martial arts movie where a guy's fighting 8 dudes at once, but they all keep coming at him at one time.
Yeah.
It's like the Foot Clan thing where they just keep beating up one at a time, and it's like there's 9 of you in a circle. Or you all jump on him at the same time. But these hoes just keep coming at him one at a time like the Foot Clan, and he's just bap, get out away from me, flip you over, get away from me. It's really fun.
It was like
somebody wrote it's like a turn-based JRPG.
Yes. Look at this. They don't stop.
Where are the
How
police?
is this going? I don't know. How is this going on so long?
I don't. Oh, she almost got in. She almost made it
And
in.
she's out. No, and she's out though. And she didn't though.
She got a taste though, Royce. She got a taste.
She did.
Of the inside. She showed him.
Ooh. Wait,
Is
what?
that it? She out cold?
Wait. Yeah, I was trying to see what happened. Hold on.
She definitely hit her head.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Okay, let's see.
Bam.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, that'll.
Ooh.
Falling on your head sucks.
Oh.
Watch it. She ain't getting up from that. She ain't getting up from that.
You're out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah.
5.
She's out.
6, 7.
Oh boy.
8, 9, 10. It doesn't matter. She couldn't
Call
get
the
up on her
fight.
own.
Call the fight. Call it. Fight's over.
I like it's one of these outdoor bars,
Yeah.
so people are like, I gotta go have a cigarette.
Yeah,
I gotta go have a
I'm
cigarette.
not dealing with that.
Excuse me, sorry, I'm just having a cigarette.
Are the cops ever going to show up?
No, this happened in Ashiel, Oklahoma.
Look at this. Now she's kicking the door. The women were later arrested. Oh, they were arrested for the violence. Oh!
Imagine getting your ass beat over and over again and then going to jail for it too.
Yeah,
dumb skanks.
They were
That
arrested
is, but that's
for it.
honestly these guys out there. Like whenever you see these MGTOWs and I do make fun of the fucking. I make fun of all the men going their own way and all those incel fags, but this is what they have. This is what they have to pick from.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Good
know what I
point.
mean?
What do you do? What can you do with that?
You either have this or you have a CNA that already has a half black kid. There is no real choices out there, even for young guys, dude. This isn't like the problems that I face in my 30s in dating. There are guys in their 20s that like we didn't have to face that in our 20s. These guys have to face. This is a choice, dude. The guys in their 20s now have the same like quality of choices that guys like guys in their 40s, 30s, and 40s had 10, 20 years ago. It's just pathetic. It's sad. And nobody wants to fucking be with that.
No, why would you?
So, but then when you don't go out and just fuck these broads, and
You're an
date-
they call you an
Oh, what are
incel.
Oh, you're an incel. Yeah, no, I don't want to go out with that. I'm sorry. Like that's it. Like whatever.
All right.
And Shake says single moms are undateable. It's not always true. It's kind of a retarded generalization to make that they're all undateable. I mean, there are people like Chuck. Trust me, I could show you fucking 10. You know, I could introduce you to 100 women who got married and had a kid, and then their like Marine husband got his face blown off. Like, you know what I mean? There are people out there that, due to extenuating circumstances, are single mothers. But those hoes, hoes like that are single mothers for a reason.
Well, speaking of, Mike, Broadley's bringing us something great. A feminist sex worker explains what happens on the job. Because, you know, sex work is real work. So let's get into this.
Would you consider a grown-ass man shitting into an adult diaper and you having to clean it up gross?
Yeah, imagine your life being cleaning up a man's big, huge shits in a diaper. 10 questions you always wanted to ask a feminist sex worker. I've never wanted to ask a feminist sex worker any question.
Except for, can you give me a little bit of a break on the hourly?
Oh, okay. It's okay.
My name is Andy, also known as Disco Tits, and I'm a...
She's known as Disco Tits. Disco Tits.
a feminist sex worker and an artist.
You're not an artist.
You're a prostitute. You're a all the other adjectives don't. Once you say prostitute, all the other adjectives and things don't matter.
Somebody wrote 10 out of 10 in Britain.
I'm so sorry.
No, I don't have a pimp. I guess I'm my own pimp. I meet most of my clients online through websites that I have profiles on.
And then someday when I'm raped viciously and left for dead in a hotel room, you know, it's like I'm going to blame men. It's all going to be toxic masculinity. It's men's fault that I was meeting strange men in hotel rooms and having sex with them for money and opening myself up, making myself vulnerable to being the victim of violent crime. But it's men's fault.
It is all men's fault, yes.
Back pages like Craigslist.
By the way, somebody's saying that we're doxing porcelain. This is actually porcelain. This is the real porcelain.
No, Mark Goldbridge.
This is actually Mark Goldbridge playing a feminist sex worker.
But mostly like services for like sex work. I have a hooker Twitter and I get clients from that, funny enough.
Eric Fernandez goes, make those disco tits fart.
Please don't.
Make them titty farts, girl.
Please don't.
Basic London rates, kind of like 150 for an hour.
You know they tell you when you have an ugly face to add stuff to it to draw even more attention to your ugly face?
How does it feel? How does it feel to know that your entire life is going to be summarized by the fact that your pussy was worth $150? How does that feel?
But also I do discounts depending on...
See, she does discounts.
I bet you do discounts a lot, sweetie.
And things like
People
that.
aren't paying $150 to smash that. I don't know if that's dollars or pounds, but nobody's paying $150 to fuck you.
Maybe she charges by pound.
Sex work I do ranges from webcam to escorting, making porn, and domination services.
What about the artist part? Do you use contraception? Okay, wait.
I hope so.
We haven't seen this. Do we want to take bets? Do we want to take bets? Do you think she uses contraception?
I'm going to hope yes.
I'm going to say no. What does the chat room think? I'm very curious to see what people think.
She uses
about this.
abortions as contraception.
Yeah, oh, no, that's a loophole. That doesn't count. That doesn't count as contraception. All right, let's see if she uses contraception.
All of my work is safe sex, so it's all protected, unless I make porn, in which case I do the whole thing with like certificates and getting tested all the time. But I am sterilized, so I can't get pregnant.
Well, thank God. There's something good that came out of this. There's something good that came. So yes, she uses condoms and stuff for her hooker stuff, but not for the porn stuff.
Which is great. So even if I do have an accident, I can't get pregnant.
Yay!
I hate awkward, like gross,
Yeah.
awkward. Like you're all disgusting pieces of shit.
And I just have to worry about catching STDs.
What do you? Why do you think there's a stigma attached to sex work?
Because you're a whore, you're a disgusting whore, and you're selling your purity for money to pay your rent on your flat.
I don't think. I think they were asking her, but I mean, I like your view
Oh,
too.
sorry.
Maybe it's the same.
Rad femmes, i.e. SWEFs. A
What?
SWEF is
A what?
sex worker or sex work exclusionary feminist.
A what now?
I guess like a TERF, but with sex workers. Good, that's good. Here's the thing, sweetie. Feminists, true feminists, as in women who celebrate the idea of being a woman, shouldn't support sex workers. They shouldn't support sex workers where most sex workers have been raped at some point. Usually they are controlled by some kind of a pimp. God bless you if you're not, but it supports sex trafficking. The women get raped. They usually get brutalized. They make themselves vulnerable, all that stuff. So, yeah, women, real true feminists, are not too keen on the idea of monetizing their vaginas. And then also the tranny thing, too. There should just be trans sex worker exclusionary feminists.
That's a lot of letters.
Who basically also TERF, so trans exclusionary.
You're right. You nailed it.
Feminists. A SWEF would be like someone who's like anti-sex work, who's a feminist who's anti-sex work. It's a lot of whorephobia, basically. That's why.
Yeah, having women that like women so much that they want women to respect their bodies is just terrible. They're terrible people. You're right. You're right. They're terrible people.
Yeah, because if you look at people like Tasha Rose, she clearly hates women.
Yeah, she hates women.
She's
completely.
raising several young women, but you can just tell she just hates women. You know, she's always trying to educate them and, you know, try to connect women to resources that they need to better their life. But she hates women. You can tell. But only the ones that are prostitutes or have penises.
And maybe it's because you're sterile and you're never going to have a child, so you'll never wonder, wow, what if my 16-year-old girl or 15-year-old girl's out there whoring herself? Would you want that? Would you go, yeah, you get him, girl? You wouldn't. But that's the thing with these people. They don't have anything to lose, you know? When you don't have anything to lose, what do you care? You know, what are you fighting for? To be a whore? Congratulations, you're a whore. Nobody cares. But you can't be a whore and a feminist. Sorry, you can't be both.
It's a lot of whorephobia. Like, I don't understand a feminist who will say that they're like pro like women's movements and they're pro like women have an agency, but then when it comes to sex work, they're completely against it.
Yes, because they have daughters and they have children that they love.
And also, here's the thing, you fucking genetic dead end. You fucking loser.
Genetic dead end is good. That's really good.
I also am against male sex workers. You see how that works? Yeah, you see how that works. See, you're trying to present it as if it's some sort of double standard, like me and Royce would support male prostitutes, but we don't support female prostitutes. We don't support any of that degeneracy, and we're not even saying that we need to murder all the hookers in the world or anything like that. We're just saying that you can do what you want, and I can look upon you with disdain. That's the freedom of life.
When in fact, actually sex work can give a lot of women agency. It's better than being in like minimum wage job, right?
No, it's giving up your fucking what makes you you. Giving it up because you don't want to actually for a couple years have to work at a McDonald's before getting a real job is not worse. No, minimum wage is better because, see, even though you might make more money, fucking dudes, you know what? You never leave a job. You know what? You never leave with pride or dignity. You know, you never leave with pride or dignity after some dude comes in your mouth.
Also, there's no future in it. Like, what are you going to do? I doubt this woman is saving her money. So this is what these whores do.
How do you know?
This is what these whores do. They use up their youth, snorting fucking any drug they can find, using every orifice on their body as a way to leverage for money, and then eventually they hit the wall. And when they hit the wall, they go on welfare. Because that's what we do. That's what we allow. That's what we enable in our society.
You're right.
So she's fine. She'll be on welfare forever.
Porcelain goes, she looks like Bebop from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
She really does. She looks like she's coming out with Seamus.
Better than being in like minimum wage job, right?
Can sex workers truly be feminists when operating within a patriarchal system? So you want to have sex with men. You know that men are horny and they'll pay for sex. You're encouraging the quote-unquote patriarchal system. You work in the because the only reason sex work works for women is you have to be in that patriarchal system where a man sees you as an object that he will pay money for you. This is why you can't be a feminist prostitute.
Yeah, and also, you fucking dumb whore, that patriarchal system that causes us to pay you for sex also fills in this mythological wage gap that you're always bitching about. I can't get fucking fat slobs like you to pay me to fuck. So, wage gap.
Can sex workers truly be feminist? Okay, let's see what they say.
Well, can anyone be feminist under a capitalist patriarchal system? I mean,
Yes, the OG feminist. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can. You know that you can be a feminist and take pride at being a homemaker and being a mother? You know those two things, you can work together, right? You
know,
get that, right?
Like, again, Tasha Rose is very passionate about women's issues. She's very much involved in a lot of those issues. She's been a feminist her whole life, but she's raising children. She discourages young women from going down this disgusting path you are because she knows the pain and the misery that it is that's at that fucking, at the end of that hallway. That's feminism. And that's existing in a patriarchal... Yeah. I hate this bitch. I hate these people.
you kind of have to work with what you've got. It's a big fuck you to patriarchy as well by being a sex.
Yeah, I'm going to be an object that you get to fuck me for money. Take that, men. Take that, boys. Nice try, sweaty. But if you want to get in my vagina, you have to pay me like I'm a used Buick. They're so delusional. Or maybe, do they believe, is this one of the situations where you tell yourself a lie long enough that you start believing it? Oh, well, that's true, though. It's 2019. People will enable this, too. You go, girl. You are a feminist who loves cocks in your mouth for money.
Sex worker, you are choosing your hours of work. You are choosing your rate of pay. That gives you agency, which is essentially what patriarchy is against. If you're a woman or a femme, I can just...
I do want to apologize. Someone said that was insulting to Buicks. I apologize to Buicks.
Stay in bed all day when I need to and see a client or two, and it's fine.
What was your first time like? Let me guess, against your will and by somebody in your family?
It's pretty true, though.
I know, I'm probably right, so let's find out.
He was like this really old man. He was like in his like 70s or 80s, and he wanted like hardcore spanking. And
So
he
this
was
is talking
going...
about the first client.
Oh, first client. I was going to say, that's a weird first time.
I don't think this person's ever had sex on a personal level.
She's never had sex with love involved.
Yeah.
to surgery the next week, and he was like, I might not come out of it alive, so go for it. So, okay. But he was super lovely. I never saw him again, so I don't know what happened. He might not have made it out alive.
What's the weirdest thing a client has requested?
I once got a guy call me up and said that he would pay me like 10 grand or something to suck off his dog. And I was like, no.
She totally sucked that dog off. She sucked that dog off. She totally sucked that dog off. You think this woman didn't take 10 grand to blow a dog? Does this look like the face of a woman who has who has the dick? No, Mike. No.
I don't know. 10 G's is a little light. It's a little light.
Not for her. She charges $150 and gives discounts. 10 G's is for someone like, it's a lot of money to blow a dog.
I mean, I guess.
For her.
I don't know. I don't see it. BCL, even, I mean, I'd love to pile on this broad, but sucking a dog's dick is a big leap. It's a big leap.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know whether it was like a legit request, or because sometimes you get guys call you up who they just like to fap off on the phone to you and just like like tell you what their fantasies are and stuff. And yeah, whether it was legit or not, I don't know. But that was like the most revolting thing I've ever been asked to do.
Someone goes, what does a dog have to put its penis in to get humans to lick it? Because we know it's peanut butter the other way around.
That's true.
Probably also peanut butter, right?
It's a very versatile.
It's a versatile condiment.
Yeah.
I definitely have had difficult relationships in the past with jealous ex-boyfriends. Since then, I'm polyamorous and I only date queer people. I don't even date men anymore. So
she doesn't date men. She only dates queer people and women. But if you pay her enough, you could use her as a fuckhole.
Feminism, guys.
Feminism 2019 coming at you.
By the way, men are the problem.
not dating men has made it a lot easier. Now a lot of my partners are also sex workers or have been sex workers or are also just generally open-minded and polyamorous.
Do you think legalization works?
I don't think legalization works. Legalization is basically giving more power to the state. That's essentially what it is, and you give more power to the police. Essentially, like what sex workers want is decriminalization, which is the model they have in New Zealand, and it's meant that it's made sex work a lot safer. Sex workers have been able to take.
You don't want it legalized, but you want it decriminalized, because see, when you there is something with that term. When you decriminalize it, that's all it is. It's not illegal to do it. When you legalize it, then you could bring the government in to tax it appropriately. You know, they want it. They want their cake. Well, she loves cake, but they want her cake and eat it.
Yeah, they
too.
want socialism, but they don't want to pay for it.
Right.
Brothel owners who abuse their power, like to court, and have actually won cases against that. It means that like. You can, as a sex worker, if you've been raped, assaulted, etc., you can go to police and report it. As it stands now,
and they should laugh in your face.
They should laugh at you.
They should laugh until they start crying.
I'm a person who, by the way, if you get raped at a brothel, that's not a rape. That's not paying for your.
Right. That's a robbery.
Whatever the same charge that you get for dine and dash, it should be equivalent. Yeah. You rape a prostitute at a brothel.
It's robbery.
You should be charged with theft.
Yeah. Yeah. And whatever
in the eyes of the law, right?
Correct. You're making yourself a product, so you should be treated as such.
So if I shoplift the product, I should only be charged with shoplifting. You see how that works? You've reduced yourself to being just a hole to fuck for money. You did this.
I'm sending DeSantis an email right now. I think we can make this happen.
To make brothel rape legal? I don't know.
No. To treat people not paying for sex at a brothel as a robbery.
Could you
word
imagine
it better.
if DeSantis got sold on that and he was like,
I love it.
What if he's such a principled guy that you just turn him around on it and he goes, God damn it, you're right. I mean, this is going to kill my political career, but
we got to do this.
But we have to do this for the good of the people.
Immediately impeached.
Now within the Nordic model or any other model, really.
By the way, your Nordic models in economy and in sex work, they all suck. I'm so sick of lefties bringing up the Nordic model. Shut up. The Nordic model is for like 5,000 people. It's really easy when everybody's white.
5,000 white people.
When there's 5,000 white people in a city, it's super easy to run the Nordic model.
Very easy to have democratic socialism in a country with 4 last names.
Right, yeah. Get the fuck out of here with that.
You can't really report rape to the police if you're a sex worker, because then you get met with like stigma, and also a lot of the time you get arrested.
No, you don't.
That would be great, though.
But they don't, though. But she's lying.
That would be hilarious.
She's lying.
She is lying.
Every major city, if you even are a prostitute and you report being raped, they will not arrest you for being a prostitute. Can you imagine the outcry?
Do you know how many actual rapes go like unsolved and unconvicted? Like, do you know how many people, like, I just started talking to this person online that is part of a lawsuit because I guess, like, apparently all the police forces in America, they still have, like, They have like 10-year-old rape kits that just sit on shelves because they just don't test them.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't have the time or the energy.
They go.
can't be
They
bothered.
expire.
Yeah, they just can't be bothered. And this cunt is like, oh my god, if you get raped in a brothel, it's the patriarchy, and we should have socialist time. She just wants to talk. Whereas I've seen legitimate stories where, like, a woman, like women that have like literally just been sitting at home watching Price is Right, and a motherfucker kicks their door in and rapes them and gets away with it. That's not somebody who was fucking snorting ketamine at a brothel selling their puss. This is somebody who was like, you know what I mean?
No, I
you know,
100%.
doing a babysitting gig or fucking, you know what I mean? Or even if you're just some young girl like cuts school and then goes to smoke a little weed in the woods by the school, and some guy just snatches you up and rapes you. Like these are people that are legitimate victims. They're not creating victimhood for themselves and then blaming everyone else.
It's like, you're right. It's like, do you feel worse if somebody gets hit by a train? It's terrible. Like, they don't see it coming. Whatever, the headphones on, they get hit. That's terrible. But if you're a professional track sitter and you keep getting hit by trains, if you're always sitting on train tracks, at some point you're like, well, I mean, you're sitting on train tracks, so you're eventually gonna get hit. Like, you're rolling the dice when you're dealing with people that are paying for sex. You know, that are paying for sex all the time. They're not usually people that are going to respect the woman. You know, there's a slippery slope. And by the way, you bet you do some shitty things. You know, there's some of these sex workers that are into choking. I go, yeah, you could choke me and spit on me and smack my tits. It's like, that's a very fine line between that and punching you in the mouth. Like, it's you know, you're putting yourself.
I had
in
a girl
this
that wanted
position.
me to punch her once. Swear to God.
Did you?
Yeah, her name was Robbie Jean, and she was a real redneck.
Did you hit her?
No, I did. I started getting rough, but when
you-
it got to the punching, I can't do that. No. And she's like, "Ah, come on, like she was really into. Come on, pussy." And I'm like, I'm not. Like, you understand? She was the daughter of like a person who is the club owner that I used to work at and host at and stuff. Like, she's the daughter of a club owner. I'm not gonna go all Anthony Cumia on her. You know what I mean? And I was like, and God forbid I leave a mark on you. Plus, I was like, you understand, like, punching a woman is a boner killer for me. Like, I don't, like, look, trust me, I've got issues with women. Trust me, I've got.
Really? That's never come up.
Believe it or not.
Really?
You might find this hard to believe about me, guys, but I do have unresolved issues with women. And you know what? I like taking it out on them in bed, but there's a limit. You know what I mean? Like, there's a limit of how many derogatory phrases I'm going to call them. There's a limit to how hard I'm going to pull their hair.
Right.
And I'm not going to punch them. Even the smacking thing is weird for me. I don't want to hit. Like, I want to abuse women emotionally and psychologically like a grown-up.
It's way more effective.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking hit them. What are you, nuts?
It's way more effective your way. Let's just finish this off.
Even though you're not the perpetrator. For decriminalisation, that would be perfect. If there was less stigma around sex work as well, and there was more support, and that sex work would be safer.
You're selling your body for cash. You don't get to make the rules at that point.
No.
You don't. You don't.
know, it's just like, I'm sick of dealing with these whores. Like, I dealt with them for years. And dealing with them in general, it's like what I would imagine what a paramedic goes through when he's had to stick a Narcan pen in his 100th neck. And it's like, after a while, you just get sick of people waking up and being like, you know, it's going through a rough time. You know, my dad just died. And you're like, yeah, I don't stop fucking shooting heroin, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
You get to that point where you just heard the story so many times that you're like, I don't care about your fucking unique traumatizing story anymore. I don't care. Stop using excuses. There is a better path for you in this world than being a whore.
I have one for you. Growing Up Gay from the BBC Three.
I'm Ollie Alexander. I'm lead singer of the band Years and Years.
Okay, what does anyone know that band before we continue? Does anyone know Years and Years?
Yeah, Years and Years. That was that song Wasteland. That was 10 years.
And an out gay man. I've also recently come out about my struggles with my mental health. I have anxiety and depression.
You don't say. You don't say. It's almost like
statistically.
Don't hit me for this, YouTube, because I'm not making a declarative sweeping statement. I'm not stating this as a fact. I'm just saying that it's almost as if there is a direct correlation between homosexuality and poor mental health. I'm not jumping to that conclusion.
Is
but
it
it's
something
just
you're observing?
Based off of many of the videos we seem to be watching lately, it just seems that there is some sort of direct link between mental health issues and the LGBTQ agenda. That's just putting it out there.
And I'm not alone.
I used to know a guy that looked just like that fucking dude playing guitar, and he's gay too.
Maybe it's the same guy.
I doubt it.
It's something that I come across all the time from
Right out of the big book of British Smiles.
Yeah, those teeth are ratchet.
That joke is still relevant.
It
in
is. It
2019.
will always be.
years and years in letters when I talk to them at shows.
You know, I was talking to, it might have been Porcelain. Or might have been another English person. But we were talking about...
They all sound the same.
Yeah, I don't know. All those fucking weirdos. I think it was Porcelain, because it was recently, but it was talking about the healthcare system there. And how many people just go like, oh, yeah, well, you know, it's like, this is wrong with me, but why bother going to the doctor? They're not going to do anything. And I'm like, that sounds like hell.
It does sound terrible.
Like we were talking about, I think it was Adderall or ADD medication. And I was like, why don't you just get on that? You fucking superstar on that shit. Oh, we don't really do Adderall here. We don't really prescribe it. And I'm like, but you're supposedly living in a somewhat free country, right?
Right, where you should get what you need.
We're even, let's say, in a system where the government is like social medicine and they're like, we're not giving you that. Okay, fine. You're not going to give that to me, but you should also not make it illegal. You know what I mean? Like if you go, look, socialized medicine, we don't think you need Adderall. We don't think you need pain. You should be able to go, well, then I have money.
So I'll just get my own.
So I'll pull money out of an ATM. Can I get Adderall? No. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with this system?
I personally have yet to meet an LGBT person that hasn't been unscathed by
their mental health.
Growing up LGBT.
By the way, there's a gay place in Tampa. Like a bunch of the gay businesses are shutting down and going out of business, and the gays are freaking out now.
Yeah, I've been there, Ybor.
Yeah, but well, not just Ybor though, all over Taints. They're all shutting down, and now the gays are like whining about it, and they're like, this city used to be inclusive, and it used to be a beacon for all gays, and it's like people need to support these businesses more, and it's like, yeah, I know, it's weird. It's almost like when you're a niche part of only 5% of the country's population, and you build an entire district of businesses that are gay themed. It's almost like the rest of the city's not going to support it. Like some of us don't want to go out and eat cheeseburgers and watch a drag show. Like the Hamburger Mary's got shut down for the hepatitis A thing. One of their cooks had Hep A.
Oh no!
Yeah, and it's like a promiscuous, like it's like a burger joint run by gays. So they're always like ass slapping and like
so they touch your
making
food
out and
after
stuff.
they
Like
make
so,
out?
God, I don't know. God, I don't even want to think about it because I've eaten there years ago.
More like hamburger fairies. All right,
So
guys?
the main one in Tampa got shut down for Hep A, and
The other one got shut down for Hep B.
It had expanded to 2 other locations, and now nobody will go to the other locations either. And now it's just done. The guy's shutting down all the Hamburger Marys, and then I guess there was another gay bar now that's shutting down. So yeah, all the gays are like, "This is unbelievable. We're not supporting each other enough." And it's like, no, you support each other plenty. You're only 5% of this bitch.
Well, no, it's not even that. Here's the other thing.
Like, I wouldn't even want people to know who I voted for if I owned a burger joint. You know what I mean? I'd be like, just leave that shit out of this. Gay, straight, I don't give a fuck. I want people to eat burgers.
They're only 5% of it, but if you really look at it, Mike, it breaks down to more than that because out of the 5%, the 5% all aren't this guy. I know a lot of normie gay guys that are like, these fags are making us look terrible. Like, I just have a husband. So that's the other thing. Out of the 5%, even everybody in the 5%, normie gays aren't like, yes, Queen Slay. They're like, no, I'm going to go to work.
And the other reason it failed, too, your little experiment out there in Tampa, is because also with Hamburger Mary's, there was always some kind of extremely loud, extremely fringe gay things going on there. So it was never like if you went at 4 PM and you were like, where can we get a good burger? They actually made a decent burger back in the day, but you'd have to go there, sit down, and it's like drag queen bingo at 4 PM. So it's just a bunch of big fat John Waters nightmares walking around this place.
Pink
going,
flamingos.
Well, who's got B2 sugar? And we're going to do drag karaoke. With lip liner and shit. And you're like, I just want to get some fucking onion rings. So people stopped going because it's like, we don't want this like, loud gay all the time. Sometimes you just want a goddamn burger.
Exactly. I don't give a fuck if it's ran by gays or not. You're right. Everything needs to be marketed. You know what places like that?
Shirtless dudes in underwear, boom, boom, boom. And you're like, can I get some, I know you're all having fun. Could I have some extra ketchup for my fucking, are you kidding me?
Why does my ketchup have glitter in it? Why does my ketchup have glitter in it?
Sir, I normally don't complain.
I'm not a complaining guy.
But like there's glitter in my ketchup and there's Hepe on my burger. And there's two guys sucking each other's dicks next to me. I'm going to leave you only a 3-star Yelp review, sir. Possibly 2.
Glitter in my ketchup is the guy blowing me. But I'm gonna be honest, the burgers were good.
Yeah, why did you do 3 stars? I would have left 0. Well, the fries were decent.
They were pretty good fries.
Very good fries. Very good fries. Remember when McDonald's fries were good? It kind of reminded me of that.
So,
sorry.
You know it's another, but you've been down. You know what's another place just like that is Key West. Key West is another place where it's just this big gay district of these businesses, and everything's a rainbow flag. And if you go even outside of the drag queen bars, there's an entire block of just drag queen bars in Key West, and there's glitter embedded into the sidewalk.
Well, I'll say this, I think this is a good sign, to be honest with you, because I think we're reaching peak gay.
Peak gay, the top. You can't get gayer.
Yeah, because as a society, like as a country and as a culture, Americans have ADD. So it's like we always move on to the next fad. Mm-hmm. And I think this gay thing is going to die down a little bit. I think as a country, I think a lot of us we're always rebelling against whatever the norm is. And I think this just fucking beaming gay shit into you constantly, people are just going to go, I'm not doing this anymore. I just want to go have a nice quiet burger with straight people.
Porcelain says, Gay Lance loves Key West.
I'm sure he does.
I mean, of course, they cater to you there.
And that's the thing, dude. I'm all for you having your little things. Have your little things. I don't care. But don't complain.
That's the problem.
When the market doesn't sustain your fringed things. You know what I mean? Fucking Honey Pot in Tampa is still killing it. It's a gay bar. But it's like, any area can have like a themed spot. You could have like a black bar where it's all black people. And like if you have that demographic to support that in your area, then you can do well. But if you open up 3 black clubs in a city that does not have a higher than average black population, the main black club's always going to be doing good. The main gay club's always going to be doing good. But when you have 75 clubs and bars and restaurants, gay,
yeah, you're right.
They're all going, come out and support the gay. Come out and support the gay-owned business.
And the
like,
problem
which
is,
one?
then they splinter inside in their niches because then there's a black gay bar just for black. Nope, you know what I mean though? Because then they splinter off. Key West. There's a bar for a normie gay bar, a twink gay bar, and one just for bears. Like they're themed like fucking Times Square restaurants.
And they also turn on each other like fucking rats on a sinking ship. Like when this Kurt King guy, when he had to close down all the Hamburger Marys, now like everybody's shit talking him and it's getting back to him. So there's a lot of gay cat fights going on the internet. Soon, like everybody's like, oh my God, no, he's the best. Oh my God, support all your gay business owners. As soon as he got the Hepe thing and the whole city turned on him, everybody was like, well, I heard he didn't pay people either, and I heard he actually gave somebody AIDS. So I don't know, whatever. Like, all this like shade starts getting thrown. He's like, I never did any of those things, and now it's like, man, you guys, you're like women. You don't even like each other. It's hilarious.
And someone goes, do they have bars just for bears? They do in Wilton Manors, which is in South Florida. They have an actual place called the Cubby Hole. And no, that's really what it's called. Not even lying. I mean, I think it's been a long time since I've been in South Florida, but there was a place or is a place called the Cubby Hole that really was just for bears. Like just for gay hairy men. They really do, like you said, they even in their own community, they splinter off into their own little subcultures, The drag queens don't hang out with the bears, who don't hang out with the twinks, who don't hang out with it's a weird.
They all hate each other. It's really funny to watch. It's just, I don't know. It was off. It was kind of on topic, but it just
that's fine.
It reminded me of just seeing this collapse of like, it's constantly like 5% of the population, folks, gay, 24/7. beamed into our faces, and I think that people are finally starting to be like, I'm tired of this, quite frankly. Like, I don't mind you having some stuff, but for fuck's sake, it needs to be proportionate to the fucking amount of the population you are.
So when I used to do the AC stuff, when I used to do AC sales, I would go to a lot of homes all the time, because you get called out to give people estimates, whatever. I went to this home in Wilton Manors, and
sorry, I knew right away.
Yeah, and I knocked on the door, and the guy that answered the door was, you know Jamie from MythBusters, walrus mustache, Jamie.
Yeah.
He like that, but a little older with a gut. And he answered the door in Speedos and a pierced nipple ring. And I thought, I caught him off guard because, you think, oh, maybe the guy didn't. He goes, no, I was expecting you. Come on in. I go into his house. His house was basically a house that was taken over by old gay men. Like, imagine if Lemon Party was a house. So you walk in and each room was themed differently. One had a leather sex swing. The other, and I'm just going like trying to look at the thermostat. But the problem is, where the air handlers are or the attics or whatever, that's also the place where people hide
all their weird
things
shit
they're ashamed of, and you have to move over boxes of strap-ons and fucking dildos and double dong dildos, and you're like, this is fucking. One time I walked into a guy's house in Wilton Manors, and he had, not a joke, it seemed like a prop out of a movie, but this gay guy, good-looking gay guy in a robe, who you could tell was the girl of the relationship, hunky fireman calendar on his coffee table, and I'm like, so I keep trying, and I was writing on the same coffee table, and I have to look at the Hunky Tom, February, it was February, Hunky Tom in February, and I'm like, oh God, oh fuck.
I remember when I was looking for an apartment years ago when I was still living down there, and I noticed like everything was really cheap in Wilton Manors, and it was nice.
It was.
And I was like, this is really nice and really cheap. Mm-hmm. And I think it was either you or somebody down there was like, yeah, you don't want to go live there. Yeah, and I was like, no, there's a lot of people looking for roommate situations, and you're like, oh, I bet there are, but you don't want to go. And then I started doing more research, and I'm like, holy fuck, it's just Gaytown, USA.
It is. Another Wilton Manors.
And it's one of those places where if you live there or you work there or you're around there, you can't even really reasonably be angry at a gay guy for making a pass at you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a reasonable dude. So if I'm sort of in your fucking neck of the woods. Like when I used to sell drugs at the gay bars, like I didn't get mad if people hit on me. If they got aggressive or physical, I'd be like, yo, you need to fucking not touch me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Shit. But like if they were just complimenting me or trying to feel me out, it was always just like, yeah, no, I'm not down with that. But like I can't get mad. I'm in your
Of course,
this is your wheelhouse. I'm in it right now doing some shit, so I can't be offended. But yeah, Wilton Manors is one of those places if somebody's like, hey, cock boy, like you couldn't even be offended. You'd be like, I'm not gay. It's really, the rent control here is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. They put up a lot of nice stores there because the one thing about gays, they spend money. They spend money. So there was a lot of like Wilton Manors kind of went from being a 13% neighborhood to being a gay neighborhood, and they start pushing people out, and that's another reason why a lot of black people don't like gay people because they raised the rents in that area when they come in and rebuilt it. But I do remember
that
this,
and mostly the cock sucking.
Well, yeah, which reminds me, same thing. Wilton Manors. I went to another sales call at somebody's houses in the Wilton Manors, and the guy was this really fat dude. And when I say fat dude, I'm talking like Discovery Channel, My 600-Pound Life fat dude. So I'm talking, this guy was at least 4 bills, 450 size. Big guy. I remember when I walked into the house, he was sitting on a love seat, which is for 2 people, but he's so big he was taking up almost both seats. But this is why I bring it up. I couldn't tell that he was gay because he talked normal, and I gave him the price for a unit. I even remember the unit. It was a ream. It was a 3-ton. I'm like, there you go. This is how much it is. And then he goes to me, like you said, and I was fine with this because, what are you going to do? I'm in Wilton Manors. He goes, I'm going to give you the sale because you're so handsome. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm flattered. I appreciate it, but whatever. And then he goes, and this is to hand to God. He goes, can I suck your cock? I swear to God, this is a fucking... Nathan could back me up here.
By the way, gay guys, when they're trying to get that straight bait, they always offer to do the sucking. They try to ease you into that shit.
So he goes, can I suck your cock? And I go, sir, look, I'm flattered, but I'm actually straight, and I wasn't married at the time, but I was with my wife as we were going out. I was like, I have a girlfriend. I'm flattered, and of course, I still want to get the sale, obviously, because there's a bunch of AC companies in Florida. Then he goes, okay, and then I go, so here you go. We'll be out on Tuesday, and then he goes, but you're so handsome. Why don't you let me suck your cock? And I go, sir, I appreciate it. Then he started getting kind of pushy. So then I was like, whatever. And I left him the estimate. I went back to the office, and my buddy Nathan, you know Nathan, my buddy Nathan was working with me at the time. He was the other outside sales guy. And when we were there, I told Nathan what happened, and I'm like, look, man, if this guy calls to set up the appointment, do me a favor, you just take the call, because he's already made it really weird, and I'm kind of sick of him asking me stuff. So then Nathan picks up the phone, and he goes, look, man, I don't mind talking to him, but he really, really wants to talk to you. He really wants to talk to you. And I'm like, all right, fine. So I make it wait for a second, and I get the phone. Hey, man, sorry, I was busy. What's going on, dude? And he goes, hey, I was just kidding about the sucking your cock thing. I go, oh, okay. Then I'm like, okay, you're just kidding. But and I swear to God, he goes straight from going, just kidding. And I go, no, I know, I have a girlfriend. He goes, but I mean, if you want to come back, I'll suck your cock. Same sentence, in the same thing.
That's unbelievably aggressive.
I know. So then I said
really
no.
creepy.
But then I go to get the contract signed, and I go back. But this time I go, hey, Nathan, you don't have any calls. Why don't you just come with me? We'll grab lunch. Because I'm like, if I go with somebody else, he's not going to go. I was wrong. I went with somebody else.
Fuck Nathan.
No, opposite. He then said I was handsome again. He goes, I was just kidding about the cocksucking thing. But then he winked at me. And then when Nathan left, my buddy Nathan, he goes, I'm upset that he never hit on me. He was like, he hit on you. Why didn't he never hit on me? Like, he was like, was there something wrong with me? So the guy ended up doing the unit, but installing the AC unit in his house. But I remember her calling me back after I went back to the office, and he was like, why did you bring that guy with you? What, you think I was going to do something to you? I go, no, he just happened to be with me. I swear to God.
Dude,
I go, he just happened to be with me. He just happened to be with me. And then he goes, oh, yo, what do you mean? You think I was just kidding, and what's wrong? What's wrong if I suck your cock? Your girlfriend wouldn't know. And that's how it ended. And then they installed the unit. End of story.
It's an end of story.
End of story.
I called it in.
I called it in. Nightwave tonight, Mike?
Yeah, we'll be there. I'll do something.
Nightwave tonight.
Figure something out.
Michael post that in there. Make sure you subscribe and check out Friday Nightwaves. Usually the best ones. Daywave Live, youtube.com/Daywave Live. Of course, this episode, if you're watching it on our backup channel, give it a like, give it a watch. And once we finish, the episode will go live on our main channel, Revenge of the Sis. So we're still waiting for the Feld Entertainment thing we sent them. Balls in their court. We'll see what they say.
Balls.
That's a good one. That's a good way to end the show so people know we're edgy. All right, guys, we will see you on Monday. Take it easy.